Hello! For the second day of our project, you are going to take the pieces of paper that you have soaked overnight, or at least a few hours, and you are going to rip them up to even smaller pieces. Because they're soaked, they should be a lot softer than before. As you can see, they pull apart very easily if I just pull them between my fingers like this. So after drying your hands a little bit, you're going to place some water and glue in a container that is not used for eating anymore. You're going to pour a little bit of glue at first, so don't pour the whole bottle. A little bit of glue like this. You're going to try and place about the equal amount of water. And then you're going to use I used a plastic spoon or a popsicle stick, something that don't use for eating anymore as well. And you're going to mix the glue and the water until it's well combined. Next, you will take some of the paper that you have shredded. You're going to squeeze out the moisture, and you're going to place it in the glue and water mixture. Now we are going to mix it with the glue. And it's going to be a bit harder, so you're going to have to pull it apart a bit. If you touch this with your hands, you have to make sure you always use the same hand the whole time, and the other hand should stay glueless, because your other hand will be the hand that will help you wash the other one. Okay, this should be usable already, so we can start. So here we have our relief map, and we are going to fill in the shapes according to the color. Now, you don't have to color yours. This is colored because this is the actual map that I showed you guys in the Google Classroom. But for you, this will just be white because you're going to cover it anyway. So we are going to cover all of the green parts almost flat. So we are going to push down our pulp. Near the edges, you can put a little bit at a time so that you could carefully shape it. And you can, while it's still wet, you can still push it around. On the place with a different color, you can make it higher. Try to get it to the edges so that you don't see the pencil anymore. Try to flatten the green parts with your fingers so that they're a bit even. If there are bumps that are a bit too big, you can rip them apart a bit and then push down. For the small parts, just take a tiny piece and then stick it. You can pinch it. Now this side over here is the high part where the road is, the Santa Rosa Tagaytay road comes. So this will be a lot higher than the rest. But not as high as this. This is the highest point, the top of Mount Makulot. This is almost as high as that. And then it slopes down. As you can see, orange, yellow, then green. It slopes down. So there's a yellow part here. It's a bit higher. There's a little crater. And then towards the big crater as well. You could shape the crater like this with one finger inside the crater. You can push to make the high part of the island. Like you're pinching with your two fingers. Try to find the shape inside. Make sure you are not making it too small. And remember, it's lower than this point. Lower than this point. Alright, now we're finished with the shape. You can see from the side. No, don't do this if yours is still wet. I'm being very careful. We have a high peak over here, and there's a high ridge over here, and then the middle of the crater is also high. So it's gonna stay like this for now. We're going to leave this work overnight. You're going to dry this overnight, and tomorrow it should be good enough, dry enough to paint. Now what do you do with your extra pulp? You can shape it into anything you want and then dry it as well. You can squeeze out the moisture and then it becomes denser and harder. So you can make a little mouse, you can make any figure you like. That's it for today.